How to replace a garbage disposal. Following these simple steps, anybody can replace an old disposal with a brand new one. All right, today we're going to be talking about replacing a garbage disposal. Chances are you're going to have a mount like this already fastened to your sink that this will mate to. If you are, we'll check back with you later in the video. If not, we're going to start with putting this onto your sink itself. This part's going to be called a quick lock sink mount, and this will fasten to the sink itself. On the bottom, you notice you have 3 Phillips screws. I'm going to back those out to start with. Now that I have these screws backed out, I can slide this down. If you're getting close here, you have something that's called a snap ring. I have to remove this snap ring. Oftentimes I can do this with a screwdriver. And that can come off just like this, which allows the bottom part to come in 2 pieces. Okay. So now that I have this in 2 pieces, this is the only part that's going to be on the top, and this will mate up underneath. So I'll pinch the sink in between these 2 pieces. What's going to make this seal right here against the sink not leak is plumber's putty. You can get plumber's putty like I have here, any Home Depot. In fact, any part I have today can be picked up at a local Home Depot. If you get a piece like this, you're going to roll it out to look like a little bit of a snake. And I'm basically going to take this piece once it's rolled and spread it all around the base of this sink. Pretty much getting full coverage. If I'm missing a little piece like that, just get a little bit more here and put it in. Once I have complete coverage around the diameter, I'll put the top part onto the sink and I'll kind of give it a push down. Before you get your garbage disposal in place, it's nice to attach your electrical cord. Now, if you are replacing an old disposal, you'll want to remove the cord from the same way that it's on and reattach it the same way. If you don't, again, you can buy these little extension cords, attachment cords from Home Depot, just like this one. All right, in that little package, I have my cord, 2 wire nuts, and my little flex connector. I'm removing the 1 screw that removes the metal cover plate to the electrical compartment. You only have to loosen the screw to be able to remove the cover plate. Removing that plate will expose the black and white wires. So now I'm sliding the cords through, and I'm using my needle nose to grab the cords I just put through and pulling them out to where I can nut them together. You are, with most disposals, going to have 2 black wires. You're going to tie 1 to the black and 1 to the white. It doesn't matter which wire goes to what, as long as you're leaving the green for the ground, which I'm attaching now to the green screw to the metal case to make sure this is safe and won't shock or electrocute anyone. It will be important to get this screw as tight as you possibly can. The little electrical cord adapter will come with a little ring type nut that will screw onto it. So the little adapter here is actually screwing itself into the disposal, and I'm holding the slip ring behind it steady. Once I get the adapter screwed in, I'll tighten the ring with my finger so it's snug against the disposal itself. What I'm doing here is not totally necessary, but it's helpful. I'm just wrapping electrical tape around the wires and wire nuts. Help to keep them together and keeps them safe if any water ever were to get in this compartment, that they're not going to shock anybody. And then the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the cover plate back on. Please do this. Not only is it code, it's just necessary to keep everyone safe and fingers away from the wires. So I'm just going to show you on a spare one I have real quick what's going to be happening underneath. If you notice, this groove is offset. Wider at the top, lower at the bottom, and it's meant to like hook in. So I'll show you here as a quick example. If you notice, this is basically the same size angle here as it open here. I'm kind of looking to get this underneath, and as I rotate this, it's going to tuck underneath, and we'll kind of tuck in there and we'll hold. Again, we're kind of going underneath, and as we rotate, we're going to tuck underneath like this. That's what I'm going to be doing underneath. I'm putting this up, rotating the garbage disposal clockwise until it locks onto this. Now again, we're going to be upright, so I'll have to be pushing upward on my disposal to lock this in. Again, all 3 of these at the same time. We're looking to go in. What is nice to know is this will rotate. So you don't necessarily spin the whole garbage disposal, but you are going to click this up into place until it clicks, and then you'll be spinning this to just lock this disposal in where it needs to be. Also, on top of every new disposal, you'll have this little rubber piece. These can go bad, and again, these are replaceable. You can buy these at Home Depot. It's just a simple matter of, once this little ring is on, this follows back on, and it's just a matter of just following around all the way on. that is all the way on. But this will have to be replaced if this goes bad or gets torn up. This has to get replaced in this setting. You can pull it off, put it on, then you'll put this back up in place, which you'll see shortly. All right, before you put your disposal in, you need to ask yourself, are you currently using this plastic nipple or not? If you are, this is commonly where a garbage disposal drain will hook up to. If you are, there is a center plastic filler in here. If you can get in there quick with the camera, there is there. This has to be knocked out with a screwdriver or a needle nose, something along like this. In my particular setup, I'm not using this as a disposal drain, so I'll just leave it as it is. But if you forget to knock this out and you are draining your dishwasher into this and you don't knock this out, your dishwasher will not drain and will flash an error code. All right, so your garbage disposal is going to come this little silver bracket and 2 screws. I like to do this before I get the disposal in place. I'll remove these 2 screws. You'll come with the adapter, this little black adapter, it's like this, or you'll have your own again, it's already coming through. But it's important it's got the flat edge on it. Also here is important to know that you will have a rubber seal. Make sure that's in place. Your disposal, your plastic PVC pipe is going to fit right against that rubber seal, and it's the metal ring, slide over, it's going to hold that into place. You're going to return the 2 screws back into the slots they came from. You can get these finger tight. Again, this is quite a bit easier to do up here on top of the sink than once we get on our back down below in just a minute. Again, you can tighten these with either a slotted screwdriver, or if you have a nut driver big enough, you can do it with the driver itself. Again, I'm going to get this hand tight. Once it's tight, it's tight. You won't need to go crazy with it. Now that I have the ring setting on the putty, something I like to do is set my disposal on that. That will put down pressure on the ring to help me from pushing it back up when I'm underneath. All right, so next, I'm gonna have to slide this triangular piece on, again, flange down, followed shortly by, right after, this piece. This piece with the little 3 screws is gonna go up underneath it also. Then lastly will be the snap ring. Now, if you notice, the snap ring here is separated. It has a break on one side, okay? So what I'll do first is make sure these screws are backed all the way out as they possibly can to let us get this as tight to the sink as possible to get it up close. There's my triangle. Now for my snap ring. Again, I like to get one side on first, then I'll stretch it out over the remaining side. And voila, this will hold this all on now, where I'll line this up and screw these in tight. As I'm screwing these in, I'll rotate a little bit at a time between the 3, one, then another, then the other, then come back. Not just squish it all on once. You do this to make sure it squishes that plumber's putty up evenly and really doesn't leave you any pockets for water to get down that drain. So do one, then another, then another. Do these over and over in a circle. This might take you 3 or 4 times to get through. All right, so I have found it's best to lay on my back to do this because this gives me leverage. I'll be able to push upward on this with this. This is good leverage here point. I can push the disposal up. Again, it's important that I'm gonna put this up into place and I'm gonna be feeling around to make sure I'm good. Once I'm good, I'll be grabbing that ring and rotating around. Okay, so again, my elbow is down on the base of the cabinet and I'm pushing upward into the position. I'm lining it up first, getting the drain going this way where I know I want it to be. Once I get in position, I'm pushing up, almost like I'm lifting the sink up into the air. Once I get up into place, I'm rotating this collar. Again, this collar here, I'm gonna spin clockwise to lock in spot. So I'm pushing this back in, and I'm rotating this collar clockwise until it grabs. Once it grabs, it can release. What I can do now is I can actually drive this little thing this way or screw this way here. Again, I'm doing these. If you don't feel like you have the strength or the leverage, once you get this locked into place and you know you have all 3 points locked, you would actually get a tool or even like a small hammer and actually drive force to get the only thing left to do would be to plug it in.
If you like my dad's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to learn how to unclog one, just press this video right here.